When care becomes distance, why Faye and Yoko feel closer, yet further apart. The fandom didn't expect silence to be the loudest change. After Yoko's hospitalization, fans were prepared for updates, reassurance, maybe even a heartfelt message explaining what came next. What they got instead was something far more unsettling, a shift in energy that couldn't be explained by words. Faye was still there. Yoko was recovering. Everything looked fine on the surface. And yet, something felt different. Not broken. Not gone. Just changed. And fans are struggling to understand why. The kind of distance that doesn't look like distance. This isn't the kind of separation fans are used to spotting. There were no unfollows. No cold statements. No dramatic absences. Instead, there was a quieter pattern. A fewer shared moments. A less playful interaction. More careful wording. More boundaries where there were none before. Fans began saying the same thing in different ways. They feel closer emotionally, but further publicly. It's a strange contradiction, one that often happens when something serious reshapes priorities. Why the hospitalization changed the dynamic. Health scares don't just affect the person in the hospital. They affect everyone who loves them. According to fans, Faye's behavior shifted in a very specific way after Yoko's hospitalization, from open affection to protective restraint. She became more guarded, more intentional, more private, not distant, protective. Fans believe Faye may have made a quiet decision, not to step back emotionally, but to stop feeding public narratives that could put pressure on Yoko while she recovers. One viral comment captured it perfectly. This feels like love choosing safety over display. When love stops performing for the internet. For a long time, Faye and Yoko's bond existed comfortably in the public eye. They were soft. They were open. They let fans feel close. But after the hospitalization, that openness began to feel risky. Fans are now questioning whether the pair realized something important, that being constantly perceived, analyzed, and interpreted can become overwhelming, especially during vulnerable moments. What fans may be witnessing isn't emotional distance, it's emotional prioritization. Choosing healing, choosing calm, choosing privacy. Why fans are feeling unsettled anyway. Even when change is healthy, it can still hurt to watch. Fans weren't just attached to Faye and Yoko, they were attached to the version of them that existed before the hospital stay. So when that version didn't return, confusion set in. Comments started appearing like, "I miss how they used to be. It feels like something ended, even if nothing broke. I'm happy they're okay, but I feel left out." This isn't entitlement. It's emotional adjustment. Fans are grieving familiarity, not love. The theory fans can't stop talking about. One theory keeps resurfacing across platforms. That Faye and Yoko made an unspoken choice after the hospitalization to protect what's real by making it less visible. Not forever. Not as a rejection of fans, but as a boundary. A reset. Fans believe the relationship didn't weaken. It grew heavier, more serious, and therefore more private. And that's often when things start to feel different. Why this might be a healthier chapter, even if it's hard to watch. There's a maturity to what's happening now. No drama. No declarations. No reassurance designed to calm speculation. Just quiet consistency. And in a fandom culture used to constant signals, that restraint feels uncomfortable, but it may be the most honest thing they've done. Because sometimes love doesn't need to be proven. It needs to be protected. Final thoughts. Different doesn't mean distant. Faye and Yoko haven't disappeared. They haven't drifted apart. They've simply stepped into a chapter that isn't meant for public consumption in the same way. What fans are feeling isn't loss. It's transition. And transitions are always unsettling, especially when we don't get explanations. But one thing is clear. Whatever changed after the hospitalization didn't weaken their bond. It changed how much of it we're allowed to see.